All right, Chelsea fans, we're back with another video. That's right, the RB Salzburg match preview. It's Champions League. We are back. We're going to look at lineup. We're going to do score prediction. We're going to talk about who's available, who's fit, who's not. We got a lot coming at you right now. All right, Chelsea fans, here we go. It is RB Salzburg match day. Champions League is back. And as one might expect, we got to look ahead to see who exactly has made the trip before we do any sorts of predictions. I will sadly mention we're coming off 2 consecutive draws after a great run of form, but still undefeated with Graham Potter. That's right, 21 players have arrived in Salzburg. The 4 injured players who missed this session, Reece James and Kante, Wesley Fofana, Koulibaly, all remain behind, but otherwise we've got a strong team ahead. Forwards Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Raheem Sterling, Broja, Kai Havertz were all on the plane, as well as Thiago Silva, who made his 100th Champions League appearance recently. Absolutely legendary. There we see Sterling and Broja in good spirits as they head to their private jet. All right, specifically, here is the squad. You got Kepa, Jorginho, Thiago, Kovacic, Aubameyang, Pulisic, Ruben, Bettinelli, Trevoh, Edouard, Raheem Sterling, Broja, Mount, Zakaria, Chilwell, Ziyech, Gallagher, Aspi, Havertz, Chukwuemeka, and Cucurella. A good squad. Again, we're playing an Austrian team in the Champions League who we drew 1-1 in the first leg. They have some difficulties, which is good to see. We'll get into that here in a second. But as it stands, I think on paper, all of us would say definitely a squad good enough to win this match, albeit on the road. Graham Potter and Ruben did press duties yesterday, and the biggest thing to come out of that was that Koulibaly will be out injured for this one. It's just a game too soon, which means we have to hope he'll be back at the weekend. Also talked a little bit about Cucurella. So there's Koulibaly quotes. He said the game was too soon for him. We're hoping they get him on the grass Wednesday or Thursday, but he's obviously not available for tomorrow night. Starting to rack up the defensive injuries. I know N'Golo Kante isn't a defender, but between him and Fofana and Reece James and now Koulibaly, a defensive unit has taken a massive hit when it comes to injuries. On Cucurella, he said he's had a couple of issues, a bit of illness. He's been on antibiotics, but he's a lot better, Potter said. Manchester United was purely tactical, a need to get an extra body in midfield. He was the one to come out, probably because of all the things that have happened to him. A bit unlucky there. He's good. He's ready to fight for the team. I guess I can let you guys see the quote as well. He's ready to play. He's a resilient character. He's a really good person. Sometimes when you move clubs, it goes really well. And sometimes it can be a little bit of an up and down period. Mark's a little bit up and down, but he's a top player and will show his quality. Obviously, Graham knowing Cucurella very well. He was sick, apparently lost like 5 pounds or something like that, and he had to come back. And as you all see, Cucurella doesn't really have 5 pounds to lose. So his energy had to be completely depleted heading into that one. And with Koulibaly going out injured, it was forced. And then some good quotes about Ruben, who's been a very impactful player for the team this season, says he's put himself into a situation where he'd be one of the players Gareth would be looking at. An outsider for the squad, that's for sure, but that's Gareth's decision. Ruben has really impressed me on and off the pitch. So it is good to see the Ruben Tata continue to develop as he's been at Chelsea since he was a child. As we look at the Salzburg team news, what I would say here, shout out to the Chelsea FC site for giving us a little bit of a preview on them. They remain top of the Austrian Bundesliga. But they just had a tough draw. They're unbeaten in 16 matches in all competitions. So they don't lose a lot, but they definitely don't win either. They set up in a 4-diamond-2, so a 4-4-2 formation, play energetic and counter attack. They're well organized and are hard to break down. They were pretty aggressive in the press in the first leg against Chelsea at the Bridge. The good news for us, though, is if we scroll down here a little bit, is that they have some injury concerns. Their number 10 is out. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players that are potentially 5 that have been sick recently. So will they be fit enough? Have they fully recovered? We don't know. There might be a lot of new faces from the last time we played them, which again is good for us. So yeah, we'll be playing at the they are paying tribute to their owner who passed away on Saturday. There'll be a banner displayed and a moment's applause, so be on the look for that. Again, not to say anything controversial, but clearly they might be playing for more than just themselves, depending on how close they were to their owner. And then lastly up here, one thing that we have to talk about is the inability to score goals right now. Aubameyang is leading the team, right, with 2 goals, hoping to go score 3 consecutive matches in the Champions League. It's something that's just really important for us. You know, Fofana's got 1, he's out. Reece James has 1, he's out. Jorginho has 1, Sterling has 1, but this is now the fifth match in the group stage. We need more goal scorers than that. And then lastly, Salzburg, they're a very young team, averaging age of just 22 years and 346 days, which is almost 23. But again, relatively a young team. But this is the RB model. We know about that. They're here to be a development funnel, and yet they're in the Champions League as well. So that's kind of a quick rundown preview. Blew through that pretty fast because as we want to look at here on the UEFA site, overall form, both teams are undefeated in the last 5, 3 wins, 2 draws apiece. You know, we last time, you know, we were playing, it was 1-1 draw, is really tight. We have to go away on the road to Austria to study on Salzburg, and we have a Swiss referee crew for this one. So the last time we played, it was yellow cards for everybody. I think this one will hopefully be a little bit more chill, but I'm just making a wild guess. I have no idea what Sandro Schär is like as a referee. I did want to run down a little bit, shout out to FB Ref, on the formations and the tactics and, you know, what RB Salzburg really brings to the table. And they are an unbelievably consistent team. 4-4-2 with a diamond. You know, we don't have all the stats here, but if you look at least the Champions League XG, right? They only had 0.9 against Milan and they drew 1-1. Obviously, they only had a 0.2 against us, yet they drew 1-1, and we had a 1.5 expected goals. They held Milan to only a 0.6, which is really good. Then they played Dinamo Zagreb, which you'd assume the 2 weakest teams in the group. Although that is not really coming true anymore, is it? They had a 1.9 to Zagreb's 0.7, so that was really their big shining match, and they won 1-0. A little bit of controversy. Actually, maybe he's in the second leg, so it's 0.9 to 0.9, very even. They tied 1-1. A back and forth game. I think VAR was involved in that one, if I remember correctly. This is trying to watch during our Twitter spaces with Chelsea FC in USA. Anyways, enough about Salzburg. It is time. Predict the lineup. As always, this is tough. This is the toughest part of my job here, is predicting what I think the lineup's going to be. And look, I've made some changes. I know this is kind of must win. If we go back and look at the group standings real quick on the UEFA site, we are in first, but everybody's within 3 points of each other, right? Milan playing Zagreb today, Chelsea playing Salzburg. We need points, right? I mean, if Milan win, they go to 7. If we don't pick any points, now we're tied, going to goal difference, head to head, all these different things. So we need points from this one. But I still think Potter is going to rotate. I have it in the back of my mind that Pulisic is going to come in and that Kai Havertz are going to come in. Right or wrong, Mount's going to beat the 10. I think he's going to go to back 4 because we are so thin in the back line that he's going to need a sub. They talked about Koulibaly in the press conference, so I'm putting him in as a left back. I really think it's Chilwell, but again, this is what I'm predicting the manager's going to do. I think he's going to play Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek as the 6s from the start again, even though we did that at the weekend. I just don't see Kovacic coming in right now because you really don't have any defensive cover. I think you're going to see Kovacic come in just after halftime. And then you've got Cucurella, Thiago Silva, Trevor Chalobah, and Aspie as a back fourth cup in goal. This is not what I would do, but again, I'm not the manager. I'm not privy to all the data. We know that he loves to keep players involved and not freeze them out too long. Sterling's been in a bit of a rough patch. Pulisic has looked bright. This is another make or break match for Pulisic. You let him play and prove that he should be playing more. Same thing with Kai. He's not been in a great spot, right? So I think this is what it'll look like. Maybe it'll look a little bit tighter here with Kai and Pulisic being more like 10s in behind. But, you know, really that's just semantics. It doesn't really matter. But I think that we're going to go to 4-2-3-1 in this one. So I'm going to go prediction-wise. Chelsea going to win 2-1. I don't think we're going to get a clean sheet again. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is another big match for Chelsea, right? It's another big one in the sense of we've had 2 draws in a row. Can we turn the tides and get back to 3 points FC? Can we continue Potter's perfect run in the Champions League? This would be a win that would pretty much seal qualification, I believe. I haven't taken the time yet to go through all the different results, how the Milan and Zagreb match has to go for Chelsea to win and things like that. But a win would pretty much guarantee qualification to the knockout stage. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Who is your starting 11? This is so tough week in, week out with Potter. I do think he's going to rotate a little bit, and a back four is going to be the way he starts. So we have just a little bit of depth with Chilwell off the bench. So anyways, Chelsea fans, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you did. We're out. We're going to have a full match review podcast tomorrow on every podcast player available. So anyways, I'm out. Have a great day. It's match day, Champions League. Get your calendar blocked. It's the early kickoff today. I think it's like 11:45 in the morning. So be ready, be available. See ya.